In Chapter 3, we are going to look at the first 4 steps of the accounting cycle in relation to a service business. Now there's 10 steps altogether. We'll look at the next 4 steps of the accounting cycle in Chapter 4, and then the last 2 steps in Chapter 5. And then when we begin Chapter 6, we'll start talking about a merchandising business as opposed to a service business. In this unit, we're also going to learn about the journal. So the simplest form of a journal is a 2-column journal, and it's referred to as the general journal. And a journal, as you see on the screen, is a record in which business transactions are recorded in the order that they occur. That means chronologically by date, earliest to latest. It's also referred to as the book of original entry. A journal has numbered pages beginning with page 1. It has a date column to record the transaction date, an account title column to record the accounts affected and a brief explanation, a posting reference column to record the page number from where you recorded it, and 2 money columns, debit and credit, used to record the dollar amounts. And here you see a copy of the general journal and what it would look like. Page number goes in the upper right corner, the date column far left, the account title column, your posting reference column, and your debit and credit columns. Recording business transactions in a 2-column journal. When we record transactions in a journal, that process is called journalizing. And we've been learning in Chapters 1 and 2 that to record a transaction, we analyze the transaction into the debit and credit parts. So that means for every transaction, we got to decide which accounts are affected by the transaction, such as cash, accounts payable, equipment, supplies, whatever. If the accounts were increased or decreased, and then how to increase or decrease the account. In other words, is cash increased on the debit side or credit side? Is accounts payable increased on the debit side or credit side, and so forth. We also have to provide a brief explanation for each journal entry, such as paid monthly rent or something along those lines. Now, these are just notes telling someone not trained in accounting what occurred in a transaction, or we may be, if we get audited, telling the IRS what happened in the transaction.